Firebirds with 11 on the shot clock. Dancing through the paint. And he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
They're going to call the foul on Brown. Michael Brown draws that foul. That'll be his first and team's third. So now Shaq Dance to the line to shoot 2. We talked about the Firebirds needing to knock down free throws. It's been an Achilles heel of theirs in recent ball games.
Shaq Dance makes both free throws for the Firebirds. Leads back to 10. And I tell you, biggest man down low definitely was not Brown, but he made him feel like it.
Yeah, you can't let the guy who's under 6 feet get into the paint and have his way. Got a clean look at the bucket.
Cunningham following the shot. Staying right with it, kicks it to the right wing. Set and 3, wide open. And there you go. Don't let that man heat up.
Is it me, or does Jerome Cunningham look decisive and he looks confident with the ball in his hands underneath? That pass was on the money, and the shot was just as good.
Shaq Dance didn't have to do nothing but catch and shoot. 10 on the shot clock. Brown dancing at the top of the key. Steps in along 2. Cunningham with his rebound. Abdullah stopping, popping. No. All alone, nothing but Vipers down low to rebound. Brown. Straight to the cup was Jones. 16-7.
It was a really nifty move, too. A little Euro step, got to the bucket. Nice finish.
Cunningham, baseline. And we got a block and foul. Continuation, no, as frustration sets in.
They're going to give him continuation. I didn't think it was. I thought it was on the floor, too, the way the referee signaled it. He called the block first and didn't say the shot was good, but it was. So credit Melvin with another foul. He's going to have to take a seat.
(18-7). So Justin Brown will check in as Melvin will have a seat.
We talked about Justin Brown in our pregame as well. Another big that struggles defending down low. 4 fouls a game for Justin Brown. So you've got Melvin out of the game in foul trouble. Now you've brought in someone in the top 5 in the league in foul trouble.
Cunningham makes the old-fashioned and one. It's a 12-point lead, Firebirds.
Cunningham having a nice game so far in this first half. He's already got first quarter, 8 points and 5 rebounds. 9 points and 5 rebounds.
Nice screen as they rolling off the screen. Pull it out. Cunningham with nice defensive hands.
Those long arms.
On Quentin Scott. Scott forced to take the 3. Daquan with a stutter step coming across the timeline on Brown.
Fantastic defense. Daquan calling for the pick as well.
Long 3, and it's nothing but nylon.
Man, he tried to shoot that one from the 3rd row at half court. Daquan Antoine stepped back looking confident and sunk it.
Firebirds lead 22-7. Here comes Spencer checking in for the first time. Spencer and Gray.
Will Vetter also in the game for the Firebirds. He just got called for the foul. And going to the line, Malik Jones for the Virginia Valley Vipers.
Jones makes the first. Got 2 of the 8 points from the charity stripe.
Jones averaging 9.5 points a game. 9.4 to be exact. And if he had enough free throw attempts, he'd be in the top 10 in free throws himself. He's an 88% free throw shooter. Announcers jinx and he missed it. But
the offensive boards. 9 on the shot clock. Wait for someone to cut. No one cutting for the Vipers. 4 on the shot clock. Long 3. Off the mark, but offensive board, and Vetter gets the missed shot. Firebirds in transition to Gray. Gray steps in on a 3. Nice look, off the mark, and Spencer with a rebound.
Just Johnny on the spot with Spencer, just fortunate to be in the right place at the right time.
Dance. Firebirds looking to stop the ball, letting the man go straight to the cup, and Roper picks up his 4th point.
Cunningham stayed with him stride for stride, but didn't want to be too aggressive and get called for a foul. So it looked like he just tried to get in his way a little bit before he before he put up a shot attempt. That right there looked a little discombobulated by the Firebirds. That's probably their worst possession of the game.
Brown top of the key to Jones, and Jones with a 3.
They can't let them get confident, start knocking down shots in transition. That's for certain.
9-point lead, Firebirds. Biggest lead is today has been 15. It's a 6-0 run currently by the Vipers.
And then Vetter traveled, jumping in the air with the ball, trying to maintain possession. Trey Gray was out there on the perimeter wide open by himself. He was calling for the ball, and Vetter saw him, but the execution of that wasn't there.
Virginia Valley Vipers looking to extend their 6-0 run on the Firebirds and to cut into this deficit. Backdoor cut as a pass over the head of Brown.
Brown to Brown, and that one did not connect. Justin Brown owning it, going back on defense. He said that was my fault.
Trey Gray inside the Vetter. Vetter stripped. Looking at frustration as Vetter. And we have a whistle.
Kick ball, and when Armstrong tried to thread the needle on a bounce pass, a couple of Firebirds got in the way. It looked like it was Glenn Robinson who's in the game, as well as Draco Palmer in the area.
22-13 Firebirds with a 9-point lead. 6-0 run by the Vipers. Make it 8 as Roper with his 6-point extends, cuts in the deficit.
Final 3 minutes of this first quarter. Can the Firebirds finish it like they started, which was pretty hot?
Draco for 3, brushes the iron, and Trey Gray fighting, and it stays right with the Firebirds off of the Vipers.
Yeah, Armstrong was trying to chase it down along with Trey Gray, but Gray was able to beat him to the ball. Armstrong knocked it off of his own hand.
All right, media timeout, 22-15. Firebirds and Vipers battle from Raleigh.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks, including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina, 22-15. Firebirds in control in the first quarter. Biggest lead of the first quarter is 15 as they led 22-7. It's been an 8-0 run since the 4-minute, 19-second mark for the Virginia Valley Vipers. PD Doors Craig Green here from St. Aug's University. Craig, Firebirds need to get back this way. They started this game in the first 4 minutes to continue to climb, but they can't let Virginia Vipers back in it.
No, do what you did in the beginning, feeding the ball down low to Cunningham. He was eating pretty well. That inside-outside game was working. Daquan knocked down a 3 in the corner over there. You got to get back to what's working for you. Right now, the last 4 minutes or so hasn't been a good stretch for the Firebirds. Maybe simplify things, and that's what they're trying to do over here in the corner. talk things out and also get themselves in the best position to get a bucket, because that's really what you need here. You got a mix of your first and second team players in the game. See if they can get a basket and then get back defensively and slow the Vipers down, because right now the Vipers are, should I say, slithering their way back into this contest.
With 2:49 left, Firebirds and Vipers back to the court out of the media timeout. Firebirds come out with Spencer, Vetter, Gray, Draco, and Robinson. 10-0 run for the Vipers. They are within 5.
Roper with the flush. And again, not what you wanted. And then another turnover. Here come the Vipers one more time.
Making a 12-0 run. Fibers need to call a timeout right now and reset. Even though you just come out of an immediate timeout, you were up 22-7, and now it's 22-19.
A reset of all reset is coming right now. We've got multiple changes for the Fibers. Look like they may be going back to their starting lineup.
Draco with a soft pass and is intercepted. Vipers.
Good job by Trey. He got his hand on it, stripped it.
Vetter will have a seat. Robinson will have a seat. And Draco. Firebirds will rotate as Ahmad, Cunningham, Glenn Robinson, Spencer, and Shaq Dance. Spencer with the foul.
Brown turned around, put up a hook shot from about 16 feet out. So it looks like they're going to call the foul away from it as it's on Glenn Robinson. Well, scratch that. They're going to call it the act of shooting.
Send Justin Brown to the line. Justin Brown misses.
You were right.
Got a shooter's roll.
You were right. He missed it. '29-year-old Justin Brown at the line.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in on TBL TV as Brown makes 1 of 2.
That's better than his.
Game.
It's better than his average. He's a 46% free throw shooter. So 1 out of 2 for him is good. Cunningham gets a shot at. Yeah. That's what we're talking about, though, Pete. He's got to go back to Cunningham. He was down low, putting in a lot of work. And this time he was able to get down there and draw the foul. And Tremel Anthony draws the foul, who just came into the game as well. That's his first, and the Vipers are over the limit.
Cunningham, big body down low for the Firebirds this season. Second-year player out of Nicholls State. Has really stepped into his game this season. Last year, got a slow start, Craig.
Yep.
Put a couple games on the board, put a couple 14-point games on the board, a lot of double-doubles. But, this year he's definitely playing into his shoes and his expectations.
He has. He's been a little up and down the last couple of weeks. But, again, I agree with you. Look at the defense by Cunningham. My goodness. Look, call a jump ball on that. I mean, he pretty much just tried to completely erase Michael Brown on the way up to the basket. But Cunningham, just like you said, he's growing into his body, growing into the game. Second-year player out of Nicholls College, and when he's at his best, the Firebirds are a really tough team to compete with.
1:30 left in the first quarter, 23-20. If you're just tuning in, Firebirds' biggest lead was 15, 22-7. Since that mark, it's been a 13-1 run by the Virginia Valley Vipers. The Vipers trailed early 9-0 in the first 4 minutes.
Michael Brown wants no part of the jump ball. That's the second one he did not jump for.
Cunningham going coast to coast and missing the kiss off the window.
Shaq Dance wants a foul on the rebound, thought he was bumped.
But Brown going to the corner.
Forgot something.
Nothing but Vipers top of the key to get possible turnover. Armstrong leans in with the little southpaw floater.
And Darrell Armstrong, low center of gravity, was able to kind of keep his balance, was able to rise up and avoid the defender, knock it down.
Dance going around the screen, drops it off to Cunningham. He spins and loses something.
But gains a foul call on Justin Brown, who, again, fifth in the league in drawn fouls. So Cunningham will go to the line for 2. He's a 73.5% free throw shooter, third on the Firebirds.
Cunningham already lost the ball. The ball was out in front of Cunningham. The foul was, not sure if it was if it should have been a foul call.
From the referee's perspective, I think what he saw was the spin move of Cunningham was affected by a push in the back. But Cunningham misses 2 free throws, but almost had the offensive rebound there.
23-22, and the Vipers get their first lead with 47 seconds left.
Firebirds are ice cold right now. Missing free throws, not knocking down shots, turning over the basketball. Bad omen in the final 6 minutes for the Raleigh Firebirds.
Shaq Dance steps in for the right wing 3. No. Gray with a rebound.
Don't want to fall in love with the 3.
That's exactly what Gray does. Falls in love and gives the Firebirds the lead back, 27-25.
The players have the confidence.
26.
Players have the confidence to knock the shot down, but you also want to take as high percentage shots as possible with 10 seconds to go in this clock.
Not sure what the scoreboard. All right, we're going to have to find out what the score is because the scoreboard here says 26-25. We'll see.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Virginia Valley Vipers shooting 55%. That's how they erased a 15-point deficit to get a 1-point lead going into quarter number 2. Shooting 50% from 3, Firebirds shooting 45%. Both teams getting 20 shots off. Firebirds 9 for 20, Virginia Valley Vipers 11 for 20. Firebirds 4 for 9 from 3, Vipers 2 for 4. Firebirds turnovers, 6 turnovers in the first quarter.
Way too sloppy with the basketball. Got to do a better job protecting it. And then you look at the points from turnovers. I mean, the Vipers cashed in those 6 turnovers and got 10 points. So that's why they're ahead, just like you said here, by a point entering the second 12 minutes of this contest. The Firebirds owning the rebounding. They're doing a good job distributing the basketball. And they're also getting the Vipers in somewhat of foul trouble. But they're allowing the Vipers to get inside and score. and they're also letting them get points off of their turnovers. They've got to do a better job protecting the basketball and crashing the boards.
Second quarter is about to get started. Firebirds trail by 1, 27-26. Confirmed with the statistician here that the scoreboard is correct. See if the Firebirds can get started here in the second quarter with the same way the first quarter started. Virginia Valley Vipers could not get the first point within the first 4 minutes of action in the first quarter.
Problems are going to arise now for the Firebirds as Quentin Scott has re-entered the game.
Tell the way the Vipers are playing, slowing it down, not playing in the hands of the Firebirds. As Scott gets the three, and it's nothing but nylon.
And he had Ahmad Abdullah in his face, but was able to shoot over the shorter Abdullah and knock down that shot and increase the lead for the Vipers, who have traveled quite a few hours to be here from the northern Shenandoah Valley.
Draco's guarded tightly by the Vipers. Draco drives, loses it, comes back with it, and the Firebirds in 1 second puts up the shot, and it's a shot clock violation.
One too many passes for the Firebirds. A little discombobulation. Draco went up, got the ball stripped on his way up, thought he was fouled, but did a good job saving it. However, just one too many passes, and again, took about a tick too long off that 24.
It's Anthony. Handles the ball.
Firebirds in a man-to-man.
6 on the shot clock. Nice screen by Melvin, but he says it's an illegal screen.
And Melvin's going to have to take a seat again, PD. That's foul number 3 on Melvin. Here comes Justin Brown. This is the part of the game that we talked about, getting their big guys in foul trouble to open up opportunities down low.
(30-26), 10:48 left. Firebirds need an offensive spurt. Scored 4 points in the last 6 minutes. Shaq Dance is fouled.
Shaq was about to
Michael Brown.
About to coolly and calmly petition for a foul call there, I would say. But then he realized he said, oh, okay, I got it. Okay, we got the foul call, we're good. But yes, he definitely was definitely did take some contact on the way up, and foul call is deserved. Was deservedly called. But can Shaq knock down the free throws?
Shaq makes the first. Three-point lead, Vipers way, 30-27. Shaq Dance looking for a second free throw opportunity. And Scott with the rebound. Virginia Valley Vipers. It's got the lead until they're slowing down as Scott turns it over. Draco to Dance. Dance left hand to layup and switches hands and goes up. Firebirds within 1.
Shaq able to get down on that left side. Put it up off the glass with the right hand. Not an easy finish, but a pretty one.
Vipers 3 for Slay and too short. And here come Dance in the offense. 2 on 4. They go to the corner. Daquan with the left-handed runners fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Daquan came careening across the paint, put up the floater, took the contact. He had Cunningham down low. Cunningham had the position, but also a good idea for him to take the lane and draw up a foul. So now let's see if Daquan Antoine can knock down a couple free throws. If so, the Firebirds will reclaim the lead.
Firebirds lost the lead with 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Regained it for about 3 seconds. And then the Vipers come down and hit the 3 to take a 1-point lead going into the second quarter.
Jalen Melvin with 3 fouls. Justin Brown with 2. So will the Vipers be forced to play small ball in order to keep their big guys out of foul trouble, because they may need them down the stretch as Daquan misses the second free throw?
Exactly what we were talking about pregame, Craig, as the Firebirds struggle from the charity stripe inside Emory Gymnasium.
Not sure why. The free throw line's the exact same size. It's just perhaps a little concentration issue, perhaps. Not sure. Cunningham with another rebound, PD. He is up to 6 rebounds in the first half.
Cunningham looking like he wanted to take it himself. Off to Dance. Dance going around the screen, driving and kicking it to Daquan in the corner. Daquan guarded tightly by Slay. Takes him baseline and says, "Get off of me."
Nice move by Daquan Antoine and a great finish. He's up to 9 points right now with 3 assists.
9-minute mark here in the first half, and nice floater for Anthony, and couldn't convert for the Vipers.
And good job by Cunningham to avoid the foul. He went straight up in the air, did not extend himself. Good defense by Jerome.
Vetter will enter the next dead ball for the Firebirds. Dance says, "You give me distance, I'll show you range," as he misses. They hand it off to Denmark Slay. Driving, and Dance with the block.
And Slay looked like he didn't even have his faculties about him when he was stumbling and bumbling to the basket. And then the block by Dance just basically compounded the issue. He hit the floor with a thud. Chad Simmons coming into the game for the Vipers. And now we're talking about that small ball. Here we are. The Vipers' biggest guy on the court is Quentin Scott.
You see Firebirds slipping and sliding the Vipers' ways. Simmons misses his first opportunity on offense. Here come the Firebirds, looking for a sprout here, and a turnover. Right about Brown, and Brown kicks it to the corner for Slay's 3. No, and no one crashing the board.
Counted as a 1 and out for the Vipers, and that's what you want if you're the Firebirds defensively. Don't let them get multiple looks at it. So Will Vetter back in the game for the Firebirds as well. They've got Vetter, Ahmad Abdullah, Cunningham, Daquan Antoine, and Draco Palmer. So Cunningham out there surrounded by shooters.
We've only had 2 points in the last minute and 48. Abdullah misses. All alone was Trammell Anthony with the rebound. Slay slowly looking to penetrate the paint. Going to Simmons, and it's off of the Firebirds. Out of bounds, 7:38 left. 32-30 Firebirds.
It looked like a kickball on one of the Firebirds. Couldn't tell which leg it went off of, but one thing we know is substitutions are coming in. Here comes Roper back into the game. Here comes Denmark Slay. Correction, that is Michael Brown, 4, not 2.
(32-30 Firebirds). You leave him alone, and he'll shoot it.
Good look, but just a little too much sauce on the pass from Anquan to Vetter.
I'll tell you, Scott had a nice look right before for the Vipers.
And Will told Daquan, he said, "Hey, good look. Thank you for the pass." But Daquan also knew when he let it go, it was just a little bit too much mustard on that. Vetter couldn't catch up.
Simmons for 3, nothing but nylon.
And that'll put the Vipers right back in front, PD. That is their 4th three-point make of this game. They are 4 of 9 from long range.
Daquan wanted to go inside to Vetter. As Vetter pops out, Vetter, long range 2. Draco with the rebound.
They're double-teaming Vetter there from about 20 feet.
Vetter looking to draw the foul, does that on Simmons, and Drake and Vetter to the line.
Just the first foul on Simmons, but third team foul on the Vipers. It looks like a timeout here at our table right here in front of us. Firebirds going to talk it over, come back with some free throws.
32-30. Virginia Valley Vipers lead the Firebirds.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
One in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama.
Cunningham and Dance for the Firebirds, both with 10, followed by Daquan with 9. Draco still scoreless. Both teams with just 3 points off the bench. So far for the Virginia Valley Vipers, Jones and Roper both with 11. Brown and Scott both with 4. They only have 3 off the bench also. That's why we're only got a 1-point game here from Raleigh.
Again, we've seen some spurts of good action, spurts of inconsistency. And right now, we're kind of slowed things down here to a crawl. I mean, remember, it was 27-26 Vipers at the end of the first quarter. Both teams stuck on 6 halfway through the second.
So Will Vetter will shoot 2 for the Firebirds.
Vetter got off to a pretty hot start to start the season, and he's cooled down a little bit. Still an impact player for the Firebirds as he misses a free throw. Can't have that.
You have to score with the clock stopped.
Will Vetter averaging 14 a game. He was averaging about 24 a game after the first 3 contests.
Could not sink one or two, both free throws. The Firebirds still trail by 1.
And Vetter's just under 70% from the line.
And Vetter with the steal, and Shaq Dance.
Vipers did a good job getting back. Chasing Abdullah off the line as Daquan Antoine makes him pay for leaving TBL 3-point finalist wide open.
Firebirds lead by 2. Vipers could not find an answer on that offensive possession. Draco lobs it in to Cunningham, and Cunningham with 12 points.
Eat, big dog, eat. Telling you, with this small lineup in for the Vipers, this should be a feeding ground for Jerome Cunningham. 12 points, 6 boards. It's not even halftime yet.
Jones to Scott. Scott rifles one to Brown. Brown holds. Driving on Ahmad, and Cunningham.
Not sure what more Cunningham could do there. I mean, may have called some arm-to-arm contact, but, you know, that was a losing proposition for Michael Brown because there was no way he was going to score above Cunningham, who had basically eclipsed him over the top. But just a little bit too much forearm-to-forearm contact, and that's where the foul call came in.
Looked like that solar eclipse we had back the beginning of the month. 5:30 left, 35-33.
The Vipers need to darken the brightness of this Vipers team. 7-10 on the season, but playing confident and feeling like they've got a chance.
37-33. It is extremely warm in this gymnasium.
We'll see how much that plays a factor when it comes to fatigue, also condensation on the floor. We saw it in another league that you and I covered yesterday. A game had to be postponed because of moisture and humidity in the area.
As Brown went 50% on that trip. 37-34, 3-point lead Firebirds. Vetter stepped on the baseline.
A little miscommunication between Vetter and Ahmad Abdullah. Ahmad got the ball down to Vetter. I think it was more like they were about half a second off of each other, out of sync. So when Vetter caught the ball, he turned around to make his move. He was already stepping on the end line.
Brown looking for someone to move down low and puts one down there. And as Roper could not finish, but he'll head to the line to shoot two.
Draco with the foul. And just first foul on Draco. Firebirds not really in any trouble of the Vipers going to the charity stripe for being over the limit. They only got 2 fouls right now. Roper knocks down the first.
Roper, a hot hand for the Vipers with 12 points. Misses an opportunity to lead the way for the Vipers. 2-point game, Firebirds way. Led by as many as 15 here in the first half.
What
and
a
Simmons.
What a finish. As
Jones.
Malik Jones went tumbling to the floor. It all started with a turnover by Will Vetter because Jones got his hand in there. Vetter's a big man, 6'8", went to dribble the basketball, and Jones went right in while the ball was being dribbled and knocked it away from him. And now a technical foul has been called on Draco Palmer. Correction on that. Thought I saw the referee do a technical foul and point at Draco. Then heard Draco pleading his case saying he just said my name.
All tied at 37. Both teams searching for their first win in the last 2 weeks.
It's been a grind here. This first 20 minutes and 10 seconds. 19 minutes and 10 seconds, mind you. My math was off. The Vipers half-court pressing, making things tough on the Firebirds now for Abdullah, who had to use all of the 10 seconds to get across the timeline.
Daquan to Vetter. Vetter trapped off down low, and they have 3-second call on Spencer.
Firebirds feel like they're out of sync. I mean, the best run of the game they had was in the first 6 minutes, and now all of a sudden it's like they're just kind of toiling and just in cruise control right now. I mean, they're letting the Vipers hang around, and the more they hang around, the more confident they're going to feel.
Trey Grayway will come in the next dead ball for the Firebirds. Roper got away with the travel, but drives, and Draco with the rebound.
Firebirds trying to find a lineup combination that works, that gives them a little success. Air ball by Shaq Dance.
Looked like
Tumbled
it was off of Armstrong.
Yeah, hit Armstrong between the shoulder blades on the way down and rolled off his back out of bounds. So 17 on the shot clock and 4:06 on the game clock. Can the Firebirds put the ball in the basket?
Gray enters the game off the bench. The only bench player for the Firebirds has got any points. Spencer trying to distract, but getting a 2 missed layup rebound with Spencer. Shaq Dance. spinning. Nice spin move by Dance, but unable to stay with the ball. 3:37 left. Dance holding his head. Could have been elbowed.
Michael Brown with another steal.
Armstrong stopping. Kicks it. 3 on the way. No. It's Spencer with the rebound.
Way too many turnovers for the Firebirds.
Spencer boxed out Brown and Draco for 3. No. Draco is cold today. No points for Draco. Euro step, reverse layup. You can count it for Malik Jones.
Looked like a Euro travel to me, but count the bucket. 3 minutes to go. Firebirds need to find something here because they have been just struggling for quite a while. 37 points with under 3 minutes to go until halftime. Not characteristic of the Raleigh Firebirds.
Usually right now we're setting at about 60. Spencer for 3. He had to take the 3 as the shot clock was dwindling down.
And he got a good look as well, too. I mean, not a lot of guys on the floor going to block that shot.
Inside to Armstrong, and Armstrong's pass was stolen by Draco. Can the Firebirds tie it up?
Good awareness by Draco to be in the paint.
Draco fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Let's see if they give the continuation on that. Not sure. Michael Brown get the foul, but either way, 2 free throws for the Firebirds because the Vipers are over the limit.
And take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 40-37 live from Raleigh.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back as Draco Palmer will look for his first point today. He's 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, makes the first.
Crooked number on the board for Draco now. Let's see if that gets the juices flowing and can unlock the leading score for the Raleigh Firebirds.
Draco makes both of them. Didn't like that crooked number for long, Craig.
Draco, despite not being on the scoreboard, does have 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. So he's been a contributor, and he's a +1 on the floor for the Firebirds.
Jones, Malik Jones to Scott. Scott shot is off the mark, and Scott with only 4 points today. Dancing, kicking it to Draco. Draco over to Gray. 1:53 left. Gray for 3, no, and Gray is 1 for 3 himself from long range. Dance gets it back, and the Firebirds lead by 1.
Put Shaq Dance up there with 12 points. Now you got 3 Firebirds with 12. Daquan, Jerome Cunningham, and now Shaq. Look at the defense by Cunningham just swallowing and absorbing Quentin Scott.
Gray with the reverse layup. The Firebirds in transition had numbers and finishes with 2.
Let's see if they can finish these final 75 seconds strongly, put a nice run together, get themselves ahead going into the locker room.
Melvin hands it off to Slay. Slay around Draco. Scott, 15-footer, no. Cunningham with a rebound. Cunningham, nice crossover dribble to Dance, and Dance, continuation, no. With 53 seconds left, Dance back to the line.
Tell you what, Firebirds dominating the boards right now, PD, 31-18 rebounding advantage for the Firebirds. Cunningham leading the way with 7 of those.
Daquan with 12 points. He's 4 for 6, shooting 66%. 50% from 3 for the Firebirds. Between him and Cunningham and Shaq Nance, all with 12. Ahmad checks in for Daquan as Daquan heads to the locker room early with 53.5 seconds left. Firebirds up by 2 possessions.
Gonna get a little fluids in them, little treatment before the second half. Again, you mentioned it's hot and muggy in the gym today. Also humid outside because of all the precipitation we've seen over the last 24 hours. Another turnover by Quentin Scott. This is not his best game.
Dance straight to the cup. Shaq Dance with 3 straight points. Firebirds lead 46-40.
Tell you what, Shaq Dance was over there commanding the huddle in that last timeout. Firebirds have come out, guns blazing, and found a newfound confidence.
Scott for the baseline, and it's off the mark.
Rebound number 7 for Draco.
Correction, that was Melvin. Firebirds with a turnover. With numbers, takes it himself, Slay, but Scott right there to finish it off.
Easiest bucket of the day for Scott. 3 seconds to go. Can Shaq finish it off here? Shaq from way downtown.
Little short, but had a nice look. 46-42 halftime. We'll return with stats, facts, and figures of the first half after word from the sponsors.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
One in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina. Halftime festivities over. Halftime's coming to an end. The Raleigh Firebirds lead at halftime, 46-42 over the Virginia Valley Vipers. In the first quarter, the Firebirds jump out to a 15-point advantage over the Virginia Valley Vipers. But the Vipers cut it back and take the lead at end of one. Erase that 15-point deficit to lead after one, 27-26. In the second quarter, slower pace of basketball. Firebirds finished the quarter on a 7-2 run to take a 46-42 lead. Leading away for the Firebirds in the first half was Shaq Dance with 15, Jerome Cunningham with 12, followed by Daquan Antoine with 12, Trey Gray with 5, and Draco Palmer with just 2 free throws.
One of the keys of the game you brought up was getting the supporting cast involved, Petey. That's one thing you did bring up, but right now just 5 points off the bench from the Firebirds, all belonging to Trey Gray. Meanwhile, on the other side, same thing for the Vipers, just 3 points off of their bench as well from Justin Brown and Armstrong. So here in the second half, can the Firebirds find that second unit consistency that we've seen in recent weeks and games where they're getting multiple 10-plus point scores? They got 3 right now. Can they keep it up and bring home a victory, get this bad taste out of their mouth?
As Roper brings it up. Jones drives, and Cunningham with a block and a steal, and Daquan airballs to 3.
And Jerome Cunningham with a great first half. A plus 17 on the floor for the Firebirds. And they're saying it hit the top of the partition. It's out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Firebirds. But the keys to the game remain the same for me, Petey. They need to come out here and continue to apply pressure to Quentin Scott, make him a passer in this game. First half, just 6 points, 2 of 8 from the field.
Third quarter underway, 50 seconds gone by and no bucket yet. Firebirds moving the ball around the perimeter. Draco step back mid-range, short. Here come the Vipers.
Quentin Scott said he's going to take it upon himself to take on Draco Palmer.
Brown surveying the defense, steps back and wants to take that 3, but he double dribbles.
Tell you what, it was either going to be a double dribble on Scott, or we could have been looking at a 3-second call on Jalen Melvin as well. Pick your poison. Either way, Firebirds get the turnover.
Cunningham getting the feed. Backdoor was Daquan, and Cunningham didn't hit Daquan. Cunningham reverse layup high off the glass and right in hands of Scott.
Look at Cunningham chugging down court to get in front of Scott.
Move the ball around the perimeter. Brown for 3. No, and Dance with the rebound.
What can Brown do for you? Tell you what, combination of Michael and Justin, just 6 points.
Dance all alone with the layup.
Got to the bucket with ease. Little give and go. Nicely done by the Firebirds. Shaq Dance, 17 points. There's some condensation on the floor underneath right near the baseline.
Getting wiped up.
Alexa, play Wipe Me Down.
48-42 third quarter. Slow pace of basketball here from Raleigh it's not like something we're used to, Craig.
No, we're used to seeing the Firebirds coming out here all systems go. I mean, they're underneath their season average of 110 for certain. But guess what? You know, one thing they do well is make these incredible runs as Quentin Scott gets on the board. He's now up to 7 points. Make that 8 for Scott. But can the Firebirds get one of their classic runs where they put up 15, 16 points in a moment's notice?
Brown with a flat-footed rebound. 5'10" guard. Hands off to Scott. Scott shaking and baking and misses the easy bunny, but they hand it off to Melvin, and Melvin with 2.
4 straight for the Vipers, and now it's just a 2-point contest. Firebirds can't let these guys get back into the game and feel comfortable.
Draco still searching for his first field goal. Draco to Daquan. Daquan for 3. Automatic as it goes through.
That one looked like it was going to sink in from the minute he let it go. I'm watching it. I'm watching his release and his rotation, and I'm like, this thing's going to go in.
Roper wanted to take the 3. Goes back to the corner. Back out to Roper. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Drive, and Cunningham steps in and saves the life of Roper, picking up the foul.
Well, Cunningham did everything correct except he stepped forward in that sequence. Had he just stayed still where he was in that moment, he would have been able to affect the shot of Roper, and Roper, I'm pretty sure, would have missed it either way. But now, because of the fact that he stepped forward to defend, he got the foul call. It was just kind of a bang-bang situation as Roper knocks down the first free throw. Roper, 12 points in the first half, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 62% from the field. So a good game so far for Miles Roper.
(51-48). Dance searching for his 19th, and he powers it right over the head of Melvin.
Talk about an emphatic end to a drought. Could that be the spark the Firebirds need? As instead, the three-pointer knocked down by Malik Jones.
Draco still couldn't find a field goal. Dance with the turnover.
And a good pass to Draco. Draco just wasn't ready for it.
Vipers looking to take their first lead since the first quarter. Nice pass as Scott's blocked from behind by Dance.
Good track down by Shaq Dance to stay with the play.
Draco all alone, wide open 3.
Release, rotation, splash. Draco Palmer.
First field goal's a 3. Scott in trouble on the baseline, going inside to Melvin, and Melvin flat-footed baby hook.
Jerome Cunningham kind of caught no man's land. He went over to help out defensively against Scott, then had to get back underneath to take on Melvin. Melvin left wide open, was able to convert the layup.
Draco misses the 3, and they push it ahead. Vipers for the slam, and it's a 1-point game.
Shaq moving gingerly here in the timeout. I think he's slowed down a little bit. Needs to burn a timeout. Shaq Dance not looking good.
7:06 left, 56-55. Firebirds with the timeout. We'll return with more action.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
One in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has small mind.
One-point game here from Raleigh, St. Aug's University, Virginia Valley Vipers, and the Raleigh Fibers on this beautiful day in May from North Carolina. It's hot inside St. Aug's Emory Gymnasium as PD Norris, Craig Green bring you TBL basketball. Craig, Firebirds up by 4 at the break. Jump out to a 6-point advantage. And the Vipers just tracking, and within one possession of taking a lead.
They're using the Firebirds' own mistakes and cashing them in. What's happening right now? The Firebirds right now, PD, 16 turnovers. The Vipers, 19 points from those 16 turnovers.
You can see Armstrong and Vetter checking in.
Good
after
double
the timeout.
Good little double screen by Jerome.
Draco to Antoine. Antoine tries to feed Cunningham and is kicked out of bounds. That was Brown.
4 on the shot clock for the Firebirds. That'd be decisive and get off the shot quickly.
I just love how this color coordination of the Virginia Valley Vipers, black jerseys, dark purple. Cunningham almost tried to put Melvin on the poster. One of the strongest dunks I've seen of Cunningham so far.
Tell you what, he wanted to top Shaq Dance's dunk. Now, we'll say this. One thing that did not happen, referees and the scores table did not catch it, but when that last inbounds happened for the Firebirds, the shot clock did not start. They threw the ball in with 4. Jerome dunked it with 4, still on the shot clock.
58-55, Firebirds lead by 3. Melvin. Melvin with just 4 points today. Makes his 5th.
He's been a minus 14 on the floor. He's not been very efficient or productive today. Again, Melvin under 50% free throw shooter. Correction, Jalen Melvin 72%. Got him confused with Brown. Justin Brown is a 46% free throw shooter.
Making both free throws back within 1. Firebirds with the turnover.
17th turnover of the game. More miscommunication right now. The AT&T line has been disconnected between Ahmad Abdullah and Draco there. A little handoff from Ahmad to Draco. Stoppage of play to make sure the clock is correct. 6:20 on the game clock, should be 20 on the shot clock per our referee. But again, the turnovers today is what's keeping the Vipers in this ball game. 17 turnovers, and again the Vipers have cashed in 19 points
off of turnovers.
If it hasn't been free throw shooting right now, it's been the turnovers today. I mean, they're crushing the Vipers on the boards.
58-57. 1 point game to reset the shot clock back to 20 seconds.
Quickly, while we're waiting, PD, 37-25 rebounding edge for the Firebirds right now. They've grabbed 7 offensive rebounds compared to 3 for the Vipers. Firebirds have 9 second chance points off of those 7 offensive rebounds.
Brown, top of the key, 3, and Drew Cunningham gets away with a foul. Malik Jones. Very sloppy basketball by both sides today, Craig. Draco for a second 3, no. And Armstrong with a left-handed rebound, pushes ahead to Roper. Roper shot. Where was his shot at? I have no clue.
And then Draco got his pocket picked, just grabbing the rebound.
Back to Roper. Roper for 2.
Wonder if the the inconsistent play from both sides has something to do with the heat and humidity. Another stoppage of play. Not sure what the referees are officiating. Is there some moisture on the floor? Yeah.
Glenn Robinson checks in. Trey Gray to the tables also.
Got my man out here on his hands and knees like Cinderella the night of the ball. Trying to get cleaned up before he can go.
So we'll be the Firebirds with the ball.
Trey Gray, Glenn Robinson have re-entered the game for the Firebirds. So along with Gray and Robinson, they'll have Jerome Cunningham, Will Vetter, and Draco Palmer. Now Jalen Melvin.
Now cleaning it up.
Yeah.
5:41 left, third quarter.
Trying to show our Cinder fella over there how it's done.
Not sure what the officials see out there, but it's...
I mean, it's not like there's a hockey rink underneath here. You know, it's just hot and humid, just big sweaty guys up and down the floor. So now talking to TMO Wade Harris, acting as head coach today. Coach Mitch Jeffries unable to make the trip. If this continues, the Firebirds coaching carousel, should we say. We've seen Mitch Jeffries. We even saw Bob McKinnon come back and coach a game as well. Now Wade Harris, the TMO, stepping in today in the coach's chair.
Robinson from the corner, wraps around the rim, and coming down with the rebound, the Vipers in transition without numbers. Roper takes it himself and misses the layup.
Rebound number 8 for Draco Palmer.
As you see Trey Gray off his foot. It stays right with the Firebirds.
Referee thought that Melvin knocked it off of himself as opposed to Trey rolling it off of his hip. Denmark Slay back into the game for the Vipers.
Craig, even my Gatorade here is sweating more than I am.
Yeah.
That's how hot it is in here.
It is. Got to keep the fluids in you and try to sit still and not move as much as possible. Hard task to do if you're a basketball player right now, because that's your job, is to move in the groove and to do athletic things. But you know, we have a pretty decent crowd on hand here today, and you could see folks are just kind of sitting and not really moving a whole lot. They're looking for something to get them out of their chair right now, as the Vipers have a 1-point lead. And again, not seeing the prettiest basketball today, but we do have a close ball game, and right now it's anyone's contest.
So Draco will shoot the one free throw for the Firebirds and makes the free throw. Firebirds tie it at 59. That's our third tie today. We had 2 ties in the second quarter and 1 here in the third. Draco still searching for his second field goal. Vetter rifles one, and Robinson for 3, no, and Vipers with the rebound.
Watching Vetter dribble the basketball, he seems a little unsure of himself. When he's confident, he can put the ball in the hoop in a hurry. He's kind of, he gives me some, Bernard King for Carmelo Anthony vibes. I mean, a guy who can play inside and outside, can rebound well, and when he's on, he's on.
Only Firebird today off the bench with any points. Trey Gray with 3. Scott searching for point 9 and 10. Misses the first. Like he said prior to the game, he leads the team in rebound, free throws, and scoring. And today, Firebirds taking him right out of his game.
And blocks as well. He averages 0.8 blocks a game. That's tops on the Vipers. But to see Quentin Scott here at 4 of 12 from the field. And, I mean, just barely rolling a free throw in to get himself to 11. I mean, he is also he's 2 of 4 from the line. So well underneath his average. Again, 84.4% free throw shooter. That's 10th in TBL. We're talking about 40 teams, folks. He's the 10th best free throw shooter.
Look at the move by Vetter. And Vetter misses Spencer with the rebound. Spencer, no, couldn't connect on an easy bunny.
Off-balance shot by Spencer. Looked like he didn't have his sea legs underneath him.
Slay straight to the cup, draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. I feel like this third quarter is never going to get over.
It's been a slow burn towards the final 12 minutes in the Fidelity Investments money quarter, but just like North Carolina, we'll get there eventually. That's our mindset down here.
Slay misses the first.
Gotta love it when they're bricking free throws.
Building us a new gym.
So to that respect, free throws equally poor on both sides, Petey. We're talking 55% for the Firebirds, 10 of 18. Right now, as it stands, the Vipers at 11 of 18.
Make it 11 of 9 and 12 of 19, 61 to 59.
Barely over 60%. Not good enough on the road if you're going to get a win.
Gray drives, kiss off the window as he is fouled.
Like Darrell Armstrong was the one who bumped him. They're going to call it they'll call it on Quentin Scott.
To me, it looked like Armstrong was there.
But hey, you want to tag it to their best player? I'm not going to argue.
Not their best player today.
No, not at all. Today,
it would be Jones or Roper.
I'd have to give the edge to Roper. Roper's doing a little bit of everything. He's got 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. He's shooting 54% from the field in less time on the court than Jones.
Firebirds 11 of 20 from the free throw line.
Again, 11 of 20, not good enough. That is 55%.
Great ball movement.
I don't think Scott had the intention of finishing at the rim. He was just trying to draw a foul call.
Robinson ahead to Draco. Draco cross-court pass. Gray steps in for 3. No. Vetter fighting with the rebound and coming out with the Vipers. Scott drops it off to Slay, and Slay tries to go back to Scott.
Good job by Trey Gray closing out on the shooter.
Offensive board, 9 on the shot clock. Inside,
Oh.
and Spencer's throws it away. Draco. Draco looking to penetrate.
Rize Colbreth in the game. Draws a foul. Watching the Firebirds' language out here on the floor, the body language, there's some miscommunication on offense.
You can see it on Draco's face. Trey Gray, high, kiss off the window.
He needed that one. You could see it. He was pumped up when it fell. So watch this kid lock in now defensively and see if he can change the fortunes of the Firebirds and extend the lead past 1.
Scott, pass was deflected by Vetter, but Armstrong steps on the baseline. 2:40 left, 62-61. The Firebirds and the Vipers battle from Raleigh.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Firebirds only been up by 6 after leading by 15 in the first quarter. And they lead by 1 over the Virginia Valley Vipers, 62-61 with just 14 minutes and 40 seconds left, Craig. Sloppy basketball by both teams.
Yeah, it's not the game the Firebirds wanted to have here. I mean, I thought coming into this contest, they have the numbers advantage. They're at home. They're playing against a team who, quite frankly, is not a winning ball club. Also defeated them on their court. So I know the Firebirds came in feeling confident, but the Vipers looking for some get back today.
Draco's three's off the mark, and Robinson with the rebound, and Firebirds turn it over.
Firebirds got to finish strong here in the world's longest third quarter. And out of bounds. Firebirds basketball off the turnover. 2:13 to go left in this marathon we call the third quarter.
(62-61), 2 minutes left for the third quarter.
Good awareness by Scott to step into the passing lane, block out Will Vetter. Vetter right now with a goose egg on the scoreboard. 4 turnovers today for Will Vetter.
Firebirds shooting 40%, 22 for 55 as a team.
Not good enough.
Trey Gray continues to climb with 10 points off the bench.
And he wants to increase that field goal percentage. That's a good way to do it. And the defense by Trey Gray. What did I say? Watch this kid lock in defensively. Offensive foul, turnover. The Firebirds get it back.
It's all it takes to give him some momentum. And on a defensive side, he'll shut you down.
More condensation on the floor. Looks like our Cindafella is doing a fantastic job over there, right there by the restricted area. Final 145. Can the Firebirds put a nice run together, put themselves in an advantageous position in the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter?
Trey Gray with 12 points. 6 straight for Trey.
And 5 of 7 from the field for the youngster. First-year Firebird coming out here. All systems go for number 21. And Denmark Slay, 2 not 3, knocked that one down.
109 left, and Glenn Robinson off the bench for a long 2. Firebirds with 12 bench points. Slipping and sliding, and Colbreth hit the floor hard.
And credit the foul to Slay.
53 seconds left.
See here on our camera, we got Darius Leonard here in street clothes talking to Antonio Spencer, giving him some pointers before he enters the game.
Darius, healthy scratch today for the Firebirds.
He's also been a calming voice. He's been a voice of reason. A respected veteran on the team. Players seem to listen to what Darius has to say. He's been there, done that. helping out young Antonio Spencer.
Trey Gray with point number 13. Firebirds lead by 6. .53 seconds left. Lead by 7. Biggest lead since the Firebirds led in the first quarter. Nice ball movement. Armstrong to the corner for 3. No, and Glenn Robinson fighting and coming out with the rebound and going up with the shot was Anthony. Correction, that was Justin Brown. Look at Trey Gray. It's on the floor.
Should be the Vipers over the limit after that one. As Dance was flying in for the rebound. Rose Colbreth called for his second foul. And good to see Shaq Dance back in the game. Remember, he called a timeout earlier in the quarter. He looked like he was, fatigued or something bothering him, but he's back now. Still leading the Firebirds with 19 points, but unfortunately missing that free throw. He is now 4 of 7 from the charity stripe.
The officials are checking everybody's wrist. Make sure they ain't got no watches or anything on. Shaq Dance making it 20 for today, and the Firebirds lead by 8.
Shaq Dance on his 2-point field goals today, perfect 6 for 6.
.13 seconds left. Slay with a big screen by Brown. Slay still in trouble. Top of the key with 4 seconds. It's going out of bounds. Off of the Firebirds. Stay right with the Vipers.
1.3 on the game clock and 1 on the shot clock. This basically is the last shot of the third quarter. And really, without a tenth of a second left, you got to get this thing up and quickly if you're the Virginia Valley.
He shoots as time expires. At the end of 3, it's 71-63 from Raleigh. We'll be back with the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter after this.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Trey Gray went on a run for the Raleigh Firebirds. With 6 straight points, the Firebirds lead by 8 going into the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter. Craig, the Firebirds need to keep the gas pedal to the floor.
They sure do. I mean, they lost that third quarter 25 to 21. Actually, they won that third quarter 25 to 21. Got to keep the momentum going. They've built themselves an 8-point lead. Let's see if they can extend it here starting this fourth quarter of play. But again, for the Firebirds, they've done a fantastic job on the boards. 47 to 33 rebounding advantage. The problem for them is that they've allowed the Vipers to hang around by letting them score in the paint and profit off of their turnovers. Firebirds, 19 turnovers. Vipers, 21 points from those turnovers. Have to do a better job protecting the basketball. You know what they say, if you protect the ball, you respect the ball.
Firebirds led by as many as 8 in the third quarter. Biggest lead since the 15 in the first. $71-63, 11:57 left. Trey Gray, scissor dribbles crossing the timeline just in time before the 10-second violation. Vetter looking inside, nothing there, but hands it off to Larry Spice Jr. for three. Had a nice look, just overshoots the rim. Brown ahead, nice ball movement, and a nice transition play for who else but Malik Jones.
Yeah, Jones using that speed to get down the court to beat the Firebirds down the floor and finish in transition.
Spicer going inside to Vetter. Vetter putting a body on Scott. Rifles one out. Glenn Robinson, shot clock violation. One too many dribbles.
Not sure why Vetter didn't just take it up himself when he had the baseline. He decided to pass the ball and find one of his teammates. Maybe a little unselfish. I mean, maybe a little too unselfish. Let's see Vetter go up strong there with confidence.
6-point lead for the Firebirds. The season average 110 points per game. Right now, they're 50 from that. Correction, 40. Can't add today. Actually, 39.
Hey, we'll blame it on the humidity.
Something. They can't touch nothing around here as Melvin misses the 22-footer.
My thoughts are sweating right now.
And the Firebirds turn it over. Malik Jones followed to the floor. Bucket counts.
What a finish, too, by Jones. I mean, the turnover started it all, PD. We talked about the Firebirds need to protect the ball, letting the Vipers convert from their turnovers. It just happened again, but got to give it up to Trey Gray, who got back defensively, but just an incredible finish by Malik Jones.
Spicer with the foul. 71-67.
Jerome Cunningham back in the game after a seemingly long break in that third. Perhaps all strategy by Wade Harris to keep him fresh for the final 12 minutes.
Firebirds are just 3 home games left this season till they go on the road for 3 to finish the season.
And they've got to have a good finish here too, PD, to lock down the Atlantic Southeast Division title. Put themselves in a good spot to host first round of the playoffs. You don't want to let the Jacksonville 95ers sneak in from behind you and get that top spot in the division.
After today, the Firebirds will play 2 games against Rocket City, and then they'll go to then they'll play Coastal Georgia, and then they're on the road to West Virginia, Coastal Georgia, and Rocket City. So the Firebirds and Jacksonville 95ers are done for the year. The Firebirds need to win the next 6 games and finish the season in a regular season 17-6. It's one of the toughest games for the Firebirds this season.
It's been it's been a grind for sure. Sometimes the game has felt like it's been ground to a halt. But it's just been, don't want to say it's, futile performances, when you have a 71-68 score in the fourth quarter with this much time on the clock. But it just feels like it feels like an underperformance on both sides. Block called on Trey Gray, and he can't believe it. And tell you what, Michael Brown might want to be careful. He's mocking the Firebirds bench openly. I heard him over here mocking the travel call and then using an expletive towards the Firebirds bench.
Could end up being a technical foul if it's heard by the right official.
Hey, got to keep it clean here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network.
71-68, 10:08 left. Brown with 2 on the shot clock, shoots over Cunningham, and Spicer Jr. with the rebound. Ahead to Robinson and overthrows Robinson.
Tell you what, Michael Brown, just 5 points on the day today, but he's a plus 16 on the floor for the Vipers. He's been contributing in other ways. 6 rebounds and 4 steals for the 5'10" guard.
It's 25 minutes of play as Draco will check back in for the Firebirds. Brown rifles one, top of the key, 3 over Spicer. Chasing down his rebound is Roper. Roper tries to go inside, but is stabbed out by Cunningham.
About 3 Firebirds caught flat-footed on that long rebound.
Gray, leaner, no, and Brown with the flat-footed rebound ahead to Scott. Scott.
Pass it to a Firebirds fan right there in the second row. But again, we talk about the turnovers and sloppy play. You are correct, sir. We have got 34 turnovers in this ball game between both teams.
9:15 left, 71-68. How long will this 9:15 go?
Depends on how close the game is, to be honest with you, because, if we're talking about a 3-point game, a 1-possession game, towards the end, we're going to see a ton of fouls and free throws. Another turnover by the Firebirds. And another bucket after that turnover by the Vipers. As now it's a 1-point Firebird lead with under 9 minutes to go. And again, just sloppy basketball for the Raleigh Firebirds.
Not getting a big help from the bench either, other than Trey Gray.
Another turnover.
Vipers with the lead on the Roper layup. And the Firebirds call a timeout, trailing 72-71 in the fourth quarter with 8:35 left. No, they call a whistle to clean up condensation in the corner.
They do need a timeout, though, to talk things over. It looks like they will take it now. Or will they? No, they will not. It's just mass substitutions. So the starting 5 for the Firebirds are all back on the floor together. So condensation cleaned up. Substitutions made. Let's play some basketball.
Dance. Wanting to get separation on that 3. Drives and kicks it to Draco. Draco for 3, in and out. Roper with the rebound.
Quentin Scott paying a lot of attention to Draco Palmer.
Not sure what that shot was, but it looked like just went to throw it up as Malik Jones picks up the 2.
Jones went streaking to the bucket in the middle of the paint and able to convert. Firebirds again flat-footed. Cunningham and Draco Palmer weren't able to get to that rebound.
Jones back inside to Scott. Scott, 17-footer's good.
That one looked like it actually kissed the window from the baseline from this view here. But all that work has been erased for the Firebirds. They had a 7-point lead. Now they trail by 7, a 14-point swing. Trail by 6, mind you. Foul on the perimeter just called on Malik Jones. He was bumping Daquan Antoine as Antoine was running across the 3-point line, headed for the lane. Stoppage of play.
Trying to figure out who the foul was on.
Even the referee's having a hard time discerning the numbers because of the dark purple. I think a white outline around the dark purple would help out a lot.
6-point lead, Vipers' way. Cunningham asking for the ball on Scott. Drive. Nice spin. And had the position on Melvin.
Roper with the foul, holding Shaq Dance. Well, actually, they're going to give a foul. Correction, to Quentin Scott. But simultaneously, Dance was complaining about being held. Roper was in the area there. Can the Firebirds get a basket? They need one.
Ahmad leans in on a three, and Scott with the rebound. Firebirds do not need to shoot nothing but threes. That's what they're doing.
Didn't think I'd see a game where Ahmad Abdullah and Wilvet are both sitting with a goose egg right now in the fourth quarter.
Ahmad, the last time they played Virginia up in Winchester.
So Cunningham nailed him in the head. That's where the foul call comes in. They're going to have to talk about it and figure it out because things aren't looking good for the Firebirds.
77-71, the Vipers call a timeout. We'll return.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama.
Virginia Valley Vipers lead 76-71 now. That's what took so much time. They went back to the scorer's book, and it's a 5-point lead. The clock had a 6-point advantage, so Scott to shoot 2 makes the first. Now it's 77-71.
Can't let Quentin Scott grow into this game here in the fourth quarter either. I mean, he's sitting at 15, well below his average. Today, again, being led by Malik Jones and Miles Roper. They have 46 points between them. Good idea, but the ball was kicked off the leg of Michael Brown. And Jalen Melvin back into the game right now. Daquan for 3, knocks it down.
And Daquan.
They needed that shot.
4-point game.
They needed that badly, PD, because they've just been, going through the motions and struggling offensively.
It's always good when you see a veteran point guard hitting a 3 late in the game.
Yeah, it was a 15-0 run to start the fourth quarter for the Vipers, and that's why they're in the lead.
78-74
Just craziness. A 15-3 run in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter for Virginia Valley.
Cunningham is blocked, and it's off of Jalen Melvin.
Good move, good defense by Melvin as well to avoid the foul. He went out early in the first half with 3. He's sitting with 4 right now.
With the foul was Malik Jones.
Whistle starting to blow. That's going to be in the favor of the Firebirds. That's going to allow them to possibly start catching up. They can draw 2 more fouls and get the Vipers over the limit.
Daquan runner flushes it.
Beautifully done, left-handed runner. Looks like Daquan took a shot in the chest or in the stomach as well. But we're back to a 2-point game.
Daquan Antoine with a 5-0 run himself, and Brown looks right at Daquan and said, "You're not the only one that can do it."
Just 7 points for Brown today. Great pass inside the Shaq Dance. Give the assist to Jerome Cunningham, PD. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists for Jerome Cunningham today.
Brown driving on Cunningham, and Cunningham.
Travel.
Got a traveling call.
They're going to talk about it. They're trying to see if there was a deflection here by a Firebird. Jump ball.
So Brown will jump up against Cunningham.
See if we can make it a trifecta of apathy when it comes to the jump ball, because when he went against Daquan earlier, he didn't jump. When he went against Cunningham earlier, he didn't jump. Now here's the rematch. David versus Goliath here in the jump ball. He went for it this time.
The Vipers come out with it. Daquan with a rebound, and Jerome Cunningham with a jump ball, and Vipers figure out a way to get it. If Dance would have went off the glass, that would have fell. But he tries to go straight up. Scott with the foul.
4 on Quentin Scott. Something we'll have to watch for in the final 5 minutes. But Shaq Dance has been the matchup today that the Vipers have not really had an answer for. I mean, he's been taking it inside and outside. I mean, he's perfect on his shots inside the paint, 7 of 7 from 2-point range. Knocks down that free throw. So he's 6 of 9 from the line as well. Great game.
23 points.
To go along with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks as well. A plus 21 for Shaq Dance today. One of his best games in quite some time.
Leaves one free throw on the front of the rim. Could have tied it with that free throw, but Brown kicks it. Melvin for 3, and it's nothing but nylon for Jones.
Every time the Firebirds get a little close, the Vipers push them back a little further. And look at Daquan Antoine off the glass and scores, but he is shaken up. He hit the floor hard. And now a foul called on Shaq Dance to prevent Michael Brown from finishing at the rim all alone. A good foul, mind you, but Michael Brown also is one of the better free throw shooters on the Vipers. Brown shoots 79% from the line. That's second on the team.
Trey Gray to the table. You see Daquan over on the far side with his hands on his knees. Hands on my knees, hands on my knees.
He's trying to shake off. He's trying to shake off whatever's bothering him. I wonder if it's honestly just exhaustion. I mean, you know, up here you and I are sitting, and you know I can feel some perspiration on my forehead. I haven't been moving at all. But imagine what these players are going through on the floor. You know, having to run up and down, and you know, and be physical and absorb contact. Then also have to worry about other players' condensation on the floor, you know, for you to slip and fall on. So tough sledding out there today, and I wonder if some of it has to do, again, with the heat inside this gym, maybe perhaps while we're sitting at 83-81 with 4 minutes to go, well below the average of both players, both teams.
Greg comes in for Daquan, and Daquan will have a seat. Will we see Daquan anymore today?
If they need him, perhaps. But Trey Gray, has played a well game today himself. 14 points off the bench. He's been fouled 4 times. A good screen here by Cunningham.
Shaq Dance all alone, wide open 3. Couldn't make him pay.
Didn't follow through on the shot. He kind of pushed it. But I like the ball movement. I like the setup by the Firebirds, too. The build-up to that was really nice.
Not sure how Trey Gray didn't get the foul call by Melvin. Was leaning right on him.
Put his hand right on Gray so he couldn't jump up for the rebound. There you go. Take him, Rome. Turnover.
Making a 7-point deficit, Firebirds. Forced to call a timeout. 88-81.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Seven-point deficit for the Firebirds. 88-81. 3:25 left. PD Norris, Craig Green here. Craig, this is not the Firebirds team we've seen in all 16 of the games so far this season.
Yeah, today's game has been it's been a battle and a struggle for the Firebirds. We're watching them on the last time out, their body language. The players just seem a little tired, really. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say. I mean, there's a ton of veterans. These guys have been here before. They know what they need to do. They want to come back and win this game.
Draco from the corner. Can he get it started? No. And off of the Vipers, out of bounds.
Very fortunate bounce, too, because Draco unable to knock that three down, and then the ball pinballed off of a couple of Vipers out of bounds. Don't want to fall in love with long-range shots either. Get to the basket, get some easy looks.
Ahmad looking to drive, and Brown steps in. Three, no. And no one down there but the Vipers as Miles Roper pulls down the rebound.
When you're down by 7, taking shots like that, it's a losing proposition. No one to cut off the bucket. That right there, to me, is the exclamation point. That is exactly indicative of how this fourth quarter began and may end for the Firebirds. No one on the baseline to stop Quentin Scott. But Trey Gray draws another foul.
It all starts with the coaching. 90-81. They call a timeout. No one on the sideline telling the team what to do or how to do. You look at the Virginia Vipers. They're down there drawing up plays, drew that play up. Coming back, now it's 90-81. Trey Gray searching for point 15 and 16.
Still time for the Firebirds to make that classic run that they make. But as the late, great Yogi Berra said, it's getting late early. You got to be perfect now. You put yourself in a bad spot here in the fourth quarter. It's currently 27-10 right now in the fourth quarter for the Vipers.
Ahead to Scott. Scott, reverse layups missed, and Dance with the rebound.
Good
Great
defense.
Shaq Dance straight to the hole.
That's what you need, see? Defense, get a bucket. Firebirds, 4 straight points. That's what they need to get back in this game.
Scott, contested by Shaq Dance at the goal.
Got to do a better job to keep this guy out of the paint. He knows what he wants to do. He's not really trying to score the basketball. He just wants to get to the line. It's very reminiscent of Joel Embiid. I saw him do it during the playoffs, the first round. He'd get down low, knew he didn't have much to offer against those defenders, would just kind of throw things up in the air to get the contact in the call, and that's what happened right here with Quentin Scott.
Scott misses the first.
The 10th best free throw shooter in TBL, missing in crunch time. If the door isn't open for you now, I don't know when it ever will be if you're the Firebirds. And here comes Daquan Antoine back into the game.
Trey Gray, Ahmad Abdullah has the seat.
So 2 possessions now. The Firebirds are down full 2 possessions. Don't need a 3 now. Just get to the basket, get a stop.
Dance, straightaway 3, no. Volleying, Jerome. A timeout, Virginia Valley, 91-85. We're going to take it with them.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
One in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help.
91-85, Valley Vipers with the ball. And almost a travel. But in transition, they get easy bunny and they're up by 8. 93-85.
Delay game warning just given to the Vipers bench. Next one will be a technical free throw.
1:46 left.
Yeah, Firebirds so close but yet so far away from a steal that last possession.
That's just how the fourth quarter's going for the Firebirds. Roper, up and under, continuation. It's 95-85.
One of the worst fourth quarters I can remember seeing from the Firebirds. Right now, as it stands, we're looking at 32-14 in the fourth quarter. And it started with a 15-0 run to begin this quarter as well. That run ended with a Daquan Antoine 3, but again, the Firebirds have been stuck on 14 for a while. Draco's still cold from long range. He is 1 for 12 from beyond the arc today.
With just 6 points, 40 minutes of action for Draco.
Credit the foul to Miles Roper on the push. Basket won't count. 1:22 to go. I mean, this has got to be it right here. Last chance to dance for the Firebirds. No pun intended with Shaq at the line. Let's go back to our keys to the game today, Petey, just to kind of see how we got to where we are. You know, earlier on I said you had to knock down your free throws. Right now the Firebirds not doing a good enough job of that. 19 of 30. Nice.
Scott put Jerome.
That is the exclamation point. Well, we said you had to keep Quentin Scott off the boards or keep him off the score column, and he's been growing into the game much later, and he's just padding his stats right now. I mean, he was largely ineffective for the first 3 quarters, and here he is in the fourth quarter eating. Trey Gray gets it. Here come the Firebirds back down. Nobody getting a check dance his way. He's just going to lay it up. So a bench warning for the Firebirds. Again, things getting a little testy as well. They're frustrated as how this quarter has gone. But again, go back to the keys to the game. You got to make Scott pick up his dribble and pass the ball. He hasn't done a lot of that in the fourth quarter. They have not been able to get Justin Brown out of the paint and into foul trouble either. And in terms of their free throw shooting, it's been lackluster. So there's Brown. Once again, there's Quentin Scott about to go to the line again. So out of nowhere, Quentin Scott up to 22 points. Looking for 23 and 24. He's got 7 rebounds, 3 assists to go along with it. But it looks like, PD, the Firebirds will drop their 3rd straight game, and they'll have basically 6 days to sit on it and stew on it, as they'll return home Friday and Saturday next week.
Fall 11-7 on the season. They'll play Rocket City on next Friday night at 7 o'clock.
And you got to turn around 21 hours later, play them again at 4 o'clock the next day as Daquan Antoine knocks down a 3. Maybe too little too late as the Firebirds down by 7 with 28.7 to go. Got a foul right now if you want to stay in this game. And they're not going to do it. They're just going to let them dribble it out.
That's going to be our final score, 101-94. Final from Raleigh as the Virginia Vipers defeat the Raleigh Firebirds and moved on to 8-10 on the year as Scott drives and we have a bucket.
And one.
Oh, me, oh, my.
Again, he's been largely ineffective. He's been largely ineffective this whole game up until now.
Virginia Valley Vipers improved to 8-10. Raleigh Firebirds fall to 11-7. Next up for the Firebirds, Rocket City next Friday. 2 games back-to-back against Rocket City. And then the following Friday, they play Coastal Georgia. That'd be the final game.
Looks like we've got a technical foul as well that's been called. So things just spiraling out of control here for the Firebirds in the fourth quarter. Again, it started with a 15-0 run to get to start the Fidelity Investments money quarter. They haven't been able to catch up since. Way too many turnovers. Firebirds right now sitting at 25 turnovers. The Vipers have scored 30 points from those turnovers.
Last time the Firebirds had 13 turnovers in Virginia. And that is our final score, 104-94. They dribbled it out. The final from Raleigh, 104-94. Next up for the Raleigh Firebirds next Friday night at home against Rocket City. Not the game we expected, Craig, but the Raleigh Firebirds, you don't show up, you don't perform, you don't win.
That's correct. I mean, again, we got to look at those turnovers. I mean, 27 turnovers, 25 turnovers. Not how you want to play the game, and that's exactly why they lost today. We can look at the free throw shooting and say, yeah, they could have did a better job at the free throw line, 19 of 30, not good enough. But when you give it away 25 times and your opponent scores 30 points off of those turnovers, it's not a winning recipe if you ask me.
All right, Craig, thank you very much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig, I'll see you back next Friday night.
Be right here, same bat time, same bat channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of High Level Media and the TBL, we'd like to thank you, the viewers, all the players, officials for tonight's game. Your final from Raleigh, the Virginia Valley Vipers pick up their 8th win of the season, move on to 8-10 with a 104-94 win over the Raleigh Firebirds. Always remember, once a Firebird, always a Firebird. Good night from Raleigh.
This copyright telecast may not be reproduced, transmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent